Okay. Now let me put both of us on the screen here. Oh, we are live. What is this? Let me just do this real quick. Hide this. Before I tell you. Not my day. Not my day. If you guys can hear us, go about time. Here we go, guys. You know what? It is what it is. This is an example of when an obstacle arises. You just gotta keep calm and keep pushing forward.
Push through. That's true. Push through.
Get us on the outside. We're gonna start this thing over. Thanks everyone for being patient. I see everyone coming back in on the live. So I appreciate that. And let me bring up our chat here. Bring up our captions. Okay, guys, we're gonna start this over. So come on back. As Tabitha Brown say, come into the room. Come to the Facebook room here, the YouTube room, the Twitter room, wherever you are, because at this point, I don't know. But once again, thank you for coming back this Sunday to join myself, LaShonda, and Toya. And today's topic is knowing your why in your multi-level business. Last week, we discussed being a Black woman in a multi-level business within the Black community. And we talked about a lot of the challenges that we faced, a lot of the backlash that we receive with having a multi-level marketing business, because that's what it is. And so you guys were asking us, like, how do you stay motivated? What's your why to keep going? And a few of you guys said, hey, can you come back for a part 2? So we thought this would be perfect for us to kick off part 2, is knowing your why in your multi-level marketing business. So once again, my name is LaShonda Patrick. I am a Amway IBO, which is an Amway independent business owner. That is my multi-level marketing business, where I retail health, nutrition, beauty, and home products. And I will let Antoya introduce herself.
Hey y'all, look, technology tried to fail us, but we prosper like always. We will rise above it, okay? Like she said, my name is Antoya Fortune. I am your neighborhood beauty boss. I am American independent beauty consultant, specializing in skincare and makeup. And I'm all things empowerment, especially women empowerment. So that's what y'all get from me. That's anytime you hear me say it, it's gonna be something empowering. I believe in the power of my words. So that's why I know tonight the devil was just trying to stop us, because we got something to share, y'all, and it's worth listening to. So thank y'all for those that stuck around through the technology issues, those who asked for part 2. Definitely engage with us. Let us know what y'all think. We would love to hear. I'm excited about tonight. Like, I hyped myself up earlier today, and I was like, hold on, Toya, you got to calm down. It's not till later, but I'm ready to have a conversation. Absolutely ready.
A good deal. And sorry if any of you guys don't see us on Facebook, on YouTube, no worries. I will get this uploaded on YouTube, because it looks like we are probably just on Facebook at the moment. Now let me turn my volume to make sure I'm not echoing. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get this conversation started. You know what, Antoya, we really don't have a like a script or anything to follow. We're just gonna roll with it like we did last weekend with just having a conversation. And so one of the questions from last week was, how do you keep going? What's your why? And I'll start and say what my why is, and then I'll let you say what your why is. My why is to create, I'm gonna just be honest, to create an additional stream of income without having to work a second job. I have worked two jobs from when I was in college, probably all the way up to 2008 and 2009. But working two jobs, it is very exhausting. You got to leave one job and go to the next job. So when I was approached, when someone shared this opportunity with me, it's low cost, easy entry, and the best thing about it, I can conduct my business online through a e-commerce store. The second why is, the first why is creating additional income, but the second why, along with that, creating an additional stream of income, is there's no limit on how much additional income I can create with a multi-level marketing business. If you work in a corporate job like I do by day, you have a certain salary and you have to wait until once a year to get that raise. But with a multi-level marketing business, you can give yourself a raise every day. You can give yourself a raise every week. You can give yourself a raise every month, because it depends on you and the work that you put in. I really hate when people say, oh, that business didn't work. The business model works. I don't care what business it is, the business model works. But in order for it to work, you have to put in the work. You have to share your products. You have to let people know that you have these products available. My third why, because I got a lot of different whys in here, I want to be in a better financial situation. I am 43. I will be 44 next year. I met with my financial advisors early last year, and I said, hey, when I retire, what am I going to be looking like? Tell me, based off, my retirement accounts that I have right now, plus if Social Security is going to be around, when I get ready to retire at this age, how much money am I going to have? What will be my yearly salary? And when I was told what my yearly salary was, guys, to be honest, I was like, whoa, are you serious? I did not, I thought I was doing good, but I really wasn't doing good. Well, let me say that. I thought I was further along, but when he told me where I was, I'm like, that's not where I want to be. And he was like, well, Miss Patrick, in order for you to have this amount of money, your monthly income be this every month by the time you get ready to retire, then you need to fund additional accounts. You need to do this and do that. In order to do that, I have to have more money. I can't go to my job and say, hey, I need y'all to give me an extra $20,000 raise because I'm trying to save, get ready for my retirement. They're going to look at me like I'm crazy. So having a multi-level marketing business is giving me the opportunity and the vehicle to create that additional income so I can be okay when I retire. My fourth why, I got a lot of whys, is I have student loan debt. I need additional income to pay off the student loan debt. I have a lot of whys, and creating something that's solid and foundational, where it doesn't matter what I do or where I am. I don't have to be tied to an office. I don't have to be tied to a computer. I can do whatever I want to be. I can be wherever I need to be, long as I got my cell phone and I can connect with people. I can conduct business and I can retail my products. And the last thing, why did I choose this business model? Because I don't have to house inventory. This isn't my first time having a multi-level marketing business. I've been in some other businesses where I had to purchase inventory. I don't have time to purchase inventory and mail out products. So with this business model, they say, okay, you direct people to your e-commerce website. They, add the products to their shopping cart. They pay for their products, and we ship the products out on your behalf, and you make your profit from that sale. That's what I need, something easy where I didn't have to have involve a lot of labor, because like I say, I'm getting older and I just don't want to do that. I feel like I've been laboring for a very long time. So those are my whys to why I started a multi-level marketing business.
You listen, you gave us the rooter to the tutor. You hear me? But as far as me, I'm gonna give y'all a little background before I go into my why. So y'all gotta understand like my perspective. My background is in social work. I have my master's in social work. So when she talks about student loans, that's real life. I tell people all the time I have degrees and I have student loans to prove it because that's my real life situation. So that is what I knew and that's what I loved, is being a social worker. My background is in health and mental health. So I did a lot of hospital work, a lot of mental health work. So a lot of in-home therapy, child therapy, school therapy. So very in-demand situation. And it came a time in my finances, because unfortunately, when you're working with people, you don't really get paid the best, where I was in a situation where I didn't know how things was going to work out. And that's where Mary Kay came in. And it wasn't something I was looking for by no means, because I had a part-time job with my full-time job. I was completely okay with working my part-time job. So I thought. And I had a good friend that was like, well, I mean, if you willing at the time, I'll be honest, y'all. Look, shout out to DSW because they gave me some seasonal work and a whole bunch of shoes to show for it. I was working at DSW and she was like, well, if you could sell shoes, like, why can't you sell this skincare? And I was like, because I ain't really into that. That ain't really what I'm into. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not my focus. I'm here to just make some quick money. And she was like, that's all well and great, but your money is going right back to this shoe store. It's like, you're not really saving any money and you're wasting time. You're probably gonna have to work Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, which we all, like, anybody who knows me, that my family is like at the top of my list of priorities. So me having to make that decision was already hard enough. And she was like, just think about it. So I thought about it, and I thought about it for a long while. I'll be honest with y'all. It was not an immediate yes, because it just wasn't something that was on my radar, but something that she was able to convince me on, because it was many conversations we had to have. And I think that's what's important, that me and LaShonda are trying to let y'all know, hey, have a conversation with people. Don't just make the assumption that this is not something that's for you just because you hear it's a multi-level business. So in that, she was able to tell me, one, I can make some money. Because let's be honest, I'm not in a business just to say I have a business and I own a business. That ain't what I'm trying to do. So the one, I can make some money. Okay, well, tell me how I can make my money. Let's break that down. How can I make my money? And so she was able to have that conversation. And then the other part of the conversation was, like I said, my family is major, which goes into my whys, is my legacy. I don't have any children. My brother has 3. Everybody knows that. Anybody who knows that those are my babies. The Fortune 3. So I do things for my legacy, which will be my niece and nephews. What can I leave for them? What will they see their auntie doing that will make them proud? I don't want them to see their auntie struggling. I don't want them to see their auntie trying to figure out like where's the next meal going to come from. I want them to know that if any point they decide they want to do anything in entrepreneurship, they can. They have the option to do that. Now, granted, I went to school. I got multiple degrees. I'm not saying by any means is that not an option you can take, but don't always disregard other options that are available to you. So I make sure they know, at one point in my careers of social work, I was working a very high in demand, stressful job. And my youngest nephew asked me, well, Auntie Toy, like, if Mary Kay makes you so happy, like, why don't you do that? Now, mind you, my nephew now is 12 and that was a few years ago. So it's like, if he can see it as a kid that this makes me happy, why wouldn't I do that? Like that's something that sticks with me. And I think about that often when I don't feel like doing what I got to do to make this business work. When I want to say, oh, this ain't working for me. And it's really, I ain't worked enough to make it work. I think about those times, those conversations that I've had with my family where they're like, what, I guess this does make you happy. It may not make sense to them because it doesn't for 90% of my family, but they know it makes me happy. They know that this is paying my bills. So they're cool with it. But also in the other part, my other why, my big thing is I have a passion for being a resource for people, which is where me being a social worker comes in. So the fact that I can be a resource to someone, they may not be like, well, how are you gonna do that with skincare and makeup? You know, you'll be surprised how many people, what they're going through and the conversations you're able to have with them. You never know what you may need from that person, what they may need from you in that exchange. So I love that I get to meet people one on one, wherever they're at in their truth, and share about these products, share about what I love about this business, and just keep doing it because it's the passion I have. I'm not saying it has to be your passion. I'm not saying you got to fall in love with it, but allow me the opportunity to share. And I love that. It brings me so much joy. Just bringing light to some people, because that's what I do. I walk around being a light to people because I feel like that's my mission. That's what Mary Kay is, just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle, just like Amway is just a vehicle for, for her to, for you to make more money and for you to, set up your future. It's just a vehicle. Mary Kay just happens to be my vehicle,
Right.
So I love it. Like I get super passionate about talking about how this works for you and letting people know that it can happen for you too. It can definitely happen for you too. So that's in short my story and why I do it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's very important for people to understand the why. So in our conversation last week, someone said, how do you keep going? And in order for you to keep going, you have to keep all those whys ahead of you. Those are the whys I share with you. Those are my most important whys. Besides, I like talking. I like sharing products. If anybody follows me on Instagram, I stay in my stories, whether it's showing you some food or this or that. I just love selling products. Sharing products. I really feel like I should have been on HS, but since I'm not, I'm doing my own, because if it's really I want to be like, hey, check this out. This is a really good product. This is a really good meal.
Right.
But to keep going, you have to in front of you. Like Antoya said, it's going to be days that you're going to wake up and be like, I don't want to do this. It's going to be some weeks where you don't have any sales. It may be days before you get a sale. You may get every day, let's say every day for a whole week, you hustling, you out there telling people about your product, and you getting a no, 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 no. And you may be like, dang, no, nobody want to buy a product this week. But you can't let that discourage you. Let me say that. You can't let the no discourage you. You have to keep in the forefront, why am I doing this? And when you have all of your whys down and you're really connected and you're tuned in with your whys, that's going to keep you pushing. You can say, oh, I'm doing this because, but you got to believe it. Like you got to have that why in here, no matter what, no matter what somebody say, no matter how your day is going, or if you got 50 no's in one day, you just got to know, you know what, I'm going to keep going because I know somebody going to tell me a yes, but I know why I'm doing this, because I'm trying to leave a legacy, or I'm trying to reach a goal this month to pay a bill, or like me, I'm trying to create additional income so I can be okay when it's time for me to retire here in some years. So how do you stay motivated? How do you stay committed? And how do you not give up? Keeping that why in the forefront. I used to hear a lot of people say, you got to know your why. You got to know your why. It's almost like in Toya, we were in school and you do the science projects and you got to have the how, the what, the why, how something's going to work, how it's going to work or whatever. It's the same way with every science, business. Everybody has a why. Whether your why is you want to be the top, I don't know what paint company, and you want to provide quality paint to everyone because you want to make customers feel good when they walk into their homes and they can see different paint colors, or whatever the case may be, or having an old house feel new again with great paint color. You always have to have your why. And yes, my whys are personal, very personal to me, what I share with you. But my why is also because I believe in the products that I retail. I use all the products. I tell people about products that I use. and I believe in them. And I'm like, hey, if I tell you, I'm telling you about this product because I believe in it. It's a quality product. It works for me, and I want to share it with you. But all of that is connected. First of all, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in what you're selling. Because if you don't believe in what you're selling, trust me, when you're out there trying to talk to your customers or potential customers, they're going to be able to see that.
They're to read it.
Know that, oh, this person isn't really real. She's just trying to sell me something, and she doesn't even believe in the product.
That's true. That's 100% true. And you talked about being connected, like having that emotional connection. That's major. Because there's some people that have, I mean, we could say, like, the reality is we can say, even if we just said, generally said, our why is making money or paying bills. Because the reality is, like I told y'all last week, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I have 3 different avenues that I take. Mary Kay is the main one. But if making money was the only thing that was going to push me, I wouldn't do it. And that sounds crazy. Because you're like, why wouldn't you want to make money? I can go get a regular 9 to 5 if I wanted it to make money. Because I know eventually they'll pay me. If it's once a month, if it's every 2 weeks, if it's 15th and 30th, whatever the case, I'll get a check eventually. That's not what's going to push me. What's going to push me is me making this money to pay off my student loan debt, or me making this money to put a down payment on a home. It could be anything. It could be, if it's something for your kids, having them enrolled in some specialized school, or a vacation y'all haven't been able to take as a family in 10 years, whatever that is. You can make money doing a whole lot of things. But if you don't have a connection to it, it's not going to matter. Because I wake up every day knowing if I don't work, I don't eat. But it's still some days that I'm like, I'm going to just lay right here in this bed because I just don't feel like it today. But the reality is that my gut says, no, okay, we like to eat. And I like to eat well. So it's like, okay, well, I got to make a different decision. Right. But the blessing is I can work like she said, I can work my business wherever I'm at. I can work my business from my bed. I work my business from the chest up for the past 9 months. Y'all have no clue what's going on below the chest. So, like it's something I've just learned to pivot in. And I think that's something within my why I've learned in this business is the art of pivoting. And that is something that when we have multiple whys and it's some things that may pull on you a little bit deeper sometimes, where if it's like, okay, no, that one is really, that's a good thing. When I talk about my babies, it's like, okay, no, what are they seeing? And not that their parents are not great examples. Like, let me not act like there's any shade there. My brother and sister are awesome, but it's still like me as the auntie. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I representing? And I get to set an example. And that's something that pushes me to be like, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is what I want to set. This is the president I want to set. I don't, my father, look, God bless him. He just believed he was going to work his entire life. I don't have that desire. That is just that's not me. And it's so funny that now I'm in this entrepreneurial role, because even when I was going through school, it was like, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not really sure. Like I enjoy social work. I did. I feel like that was something that was very necessary in that moment of my story and my life. And God is good in pushing me through that. Right. But it wasn't where I really needed to be. I feel like right now in this season, now granted, God can give me a whole new season. In this season, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I get to exude the confidence for other people, specifically women, because it's like women, we do a lot of beating each other down and beating ourselves down. I'm in the business where I get to say, you know what, we're gonna put all that aside. I want you to love on yourself right now. I want you to appreciate who you are right now. And I get to be the one to kind of bring that conversation to the table because of my business. Now, granted, it's a virtual table now. We ain't face to face. Like when y'all watch this in 2022 and be like, remember when in 2020 we were just stuck at home for 9 months? Like the reality is that I get to do it. Even virtually, I still get to, I get to see a smile on somebody's face. For somebody that has been, now they're transitioning to, how do I homeschool my kids? How do I work and still go to work? How do I still make sure they eat? They still get their clothes clean? How do I do that? But also I have a business that can work within all of that is going on. And I love that at any point, you know, it was a few months ago, Jesus, amongst COVID, I got to go and spend a week with my brother and sister-in-law and my family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I have a business where I can pick up and go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I love that's something that really pushes me at any point. I may be sitting on somebody's beach, but if I need to work, all I gotta do is pull out my phone.
Right.
You know, that's something that pushes me. I love to see the world. So y'all can imagine how this past few months have been. But that's another why, where it's like I love that I get to work wherever I'm at, whenever I want to. So it's exciting for me. It's exciting for me to share it because it just means a lot. And people have to understand it. I mean, that we're not just that pyramid that y'all believe we are, which we talked about that last week. You make of this business what you so choose.
Exactly. It is most definitely not a pyramid. You just made me think of something else, and Toya, another why, when you are in a business model like this, and I already know that you're going to say 100%, the type of positive support you get is unmatched. You're not going to get that same support sometimes in your 9 to 5, and it depends on, you know, your company or what the type of job you're working. And when I say positive support, even if it's some days that you feel like I can't do it, I can call one of my business partners and I can talk to them and they be like, LaShonda, you got this. Look, where are you struggling? What are you having an issue with? You know, have you thought about doing it like this? Just try it again. It's always there. It's always someone there to help and motivate you. And then you're also able to help and motivate others. Let me tell you a story. Right before COVID, my business partner came down from Ohio, and I had been talking to a few people, you know, about the business model, and we had conversations about them creating additional streams of income. And so we went to speak with this one lady, and she was just saying, you know, her confidence wasn't really there, and what she really wanted to do, she wanted to start a cake ball business. You know, and we were like, hey, that's great. You can, let's get your cake ball business going. And at the same time, you're going to be meeting new people, and the people that you meet in your cake ball business, you know, they may be some of your products. You may be able to tell them about some of your products, you know, because when you talk to people and you know how to listen to with that ear, you will automatically know if you have something that will be a solution to a need that they have. And so this lady, she decided to go ahead and start her multi-level marketing business. And at the same time, I encouraged her to, hey, if you want to start a cake ball business, make some cake balls. I'll come over, take some pictures, and we'll get you rolling. So when in about a week or so, she was up, she had her cake ball business rolling. And you know what? About a month later, she was like, LaShonda, I'm really not interested in the Amway business right now. She said, I do like the products and I'll continue to use the products for myself, but I really want to really see what I can do with my cake ball business. And I said, you know what? There's no problem. I'm glad I was able to encourage you and give you that extra to get started. And today, I know it like it was yesterday because this is right before COVID. She started her cake ball business March 15th of this year, and she has taken off. Now, she decided not to continue with her Amway business, but you know what? I got a lot of joy knowing that I was able to help her uplift her confidence and deposit some belief and some positivity into her, and be like, girl, you can do this. You know, if you've already been making the cake balls and people are saying they're good, just do it. Just get out and do it. And that's the other side about this type of business that people don't see. You know what I'm saying? They don't see that type of support. It's not, because I feel like we are put in people's lives for a reason. And yes, she started her Amway business, but she was like, you know what? That's not where her passion was, and that wasn't where her heart is. And maybe I look at it, I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I was put in her life to give her that boost of confidence and help her get her cake ball business off the ground. And like I said, that's the flip side that people don't see to this business model, because they don't get to hear the genuine stories. And they just feel like you said, people just, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, or it's this or that. You're just trying to take me for my money. You're just trying to get me for my money. But it's so much more than that. I mean, what do you agree with what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, in my world, we call it our pink bubble. And it's many times, like you said, that if I don't, we tell people to reach up. And here's what's, and I feel like this is something that we need to apply to life outside of my multi-level business. We encourage you, if you're ever in a moment where you're unsure, or if you feel like you're gonna quit, even if it's just in that moment, you're having a moment, to reach up. And the reason we tell you to reach up and not to the side is because that person that is a quote, and I don't mean above you in a pyramid, because I want to be very clear. It's just that they may be above you as far as their career ranking, so they may have promoted themselves, so they've made a decision to be in the leadership role. So reach up to them, because they have a little bit more wisdom. It would be like you calling your grandma instead of calling your cousin that's going through the same drama you going through. Like, it wouldn't make sense. Of course, my cousin probably gonna tell me go do some nonsense or to go ahead and quit. It ain't working anyway. But your grandma's gonna give you a little bit more wisdom to help you walk through it and help you figure out what's going on. So we encourage you to do it, because it's necessary. Most of the time, the things you're going through in that moment is not nothing new. It's not something that is just so abnormal they've never heard of it. So I love that we have a built-in system of just being like, what, you just need to reach up to your director, let her know what's going on. Don't, and I ain't saying you gotta tell all your business, but if it's something that you have to have a conversation to kind of talk through, because most of the time when we're in those moments of feeling like we're quitting, or feeling like we're a failure, or we're like, this just isn't working, we're in our head already. Our emotions at full flare. And not saying that your emotions are not real, because they're very real. But you need to have someone that's non-biased and that's able to talk you through that situation. But in that same way, in those moments that I'm doing phenomenal and I am winning, and I got contests underhand, I'm ready. In that same way, that same person is there rooting me on, being my biggest cheerleader, telling me I can keep going. There's always more for you out there. That don't happen at 9 to 5s, unfortunately. Oh, I should say that typically does. It's a few that it does. It typically does not happen. If I'm winning, it's somebody there that's like, man, she always winning stuff. Why she always got to do it? Why she always the one talking? It's like, why do we have that attitude? And I will say, I do not, like, I'm be honest. I'm in a sorority and I love my sorority. So I by no means am bashing sororities, but I know when I entered my sorority, there were certain attitudes about some of the new people. And it was like, okay, I'm confused. Like, are y'all not excited that they're here, or you are excited? Right. And that's not the way it is, because unfortunately, like, we're going to go back to being women, because we talk about being Black women. We don't play well with others.
That's right.
And that is not the case in the Mary Kay world. Like, we have figured out a way. I don't know how they did it. I don't know what they put in the special sauce, but without us being catty because she's winning, without us being catty because, she figured out a new way to do something and it's working for her, especially in this virtual world, like, everybody's trying to figure out, like, how are we going to keep this going? How are we going to keep this working? And if somebody comes up with a new idea, we're not upset with her, like, man, I should have did that. And it's like, well, okay, well, sis, can I borrow that? Can I use that? Because I'm gonna need something else to keep this fresh. And I love that we can just continue to keep uplifting each other in those moments, because we could get nasty and, and be typical women that they talk about in the workforce, because that goes into some of the things that we are privy to in the 9 to 5 world with being women. That's why they claim they don't put us in roles of power, because we're too emotional. So I love that at any point in my business and talking about my why, which is something that's major for me, is moving up into leadership and shifting my own position. That also shifts my income, which is another part of my why. Like, it's levels to it. And I love that I'm able to make the decision about how that works and not having somebody else make the decision for me.
You know what? Yes, you're making the decision to move how you want to move. If you want to go all the way to the top, You can't do that without anybody telling you, oh no, you need to wait 2 more years because you're not ready for that position. You're not ready to do that. You have the ability to do that yourself. We have a few comments here. Let me see. Who is this? This is Valencia. Valencia, welcome to the live. Thank you for dropping your comment in. Valencia says, yes, it will work if you work it. The true why and passion behind the products or services is what keeps me going. Got to be a product of the product. Build genuine relationships. Yes, all of that, genuine relationships. And I feel like you do build some genuine relationships. This is a different type of relationship. It is a business relationship, but it's also like just I don't know if it's because, you know, when you're in this type of business model, it's like everybody's working together instead of competing. Let me say that, and that's true. Everybody, like you just said, everybody is working together instead of competing. I mean, you have people say, you know what? Okay, what's your goal you trying to reach for this week? Well, you thought about this. Well, you know what? This is what I did, and I was able to, you know, get repeat orders or obtain some new customers. Why don't you, you know, do that and see if that works for you? People genuinely do that in this business. And they don't do it. And when they do it, you can feel it. They're not doing it for show, or they're just doing it because they truly want to see you succeed. We hear a lot of people say, I want to see everybody win, but that ain't always the case.
Right.
Because it's all about the action. The actions of that person is really going to tell you if they are really trying to, they're that type of person that really want to see everybody win.
Absolutely. And I think in that same token, I think for those, because I know we've had some people that have not had so great experiences with MLM businesses. In that same way that you're willing to give somebody another chance to uplift you, allow them the same opportunity to give you a different experience. Because I'll tell people all the time that people that tell me, oh, I did Mary Kay before. And I'm like, well, you've never worked with me before, though.
Right.
You don't know what experience we will have, you know, what connection we will have. And I'm not guaranteeing nobody nothing because I'm not God. But I will make sure you have the tools that you need to know how you have success in this business. And really the core of it is going to be what is going to be your why. That's what it's going to come down to. Because if you just tell me just want to have a business, I'm like, well, you can go sell lemonade on the corner. Like, that's a business. What's going to make a difference? Like you, Valencia said, like, you being a product of the company, you believing in the product that you're selling. Because I can go sell some crayons if I want to, if I believe in a Crayola 64 with a sharpener on the back. Trust me, I can sell it because that's the set I wanted as a kid, you know? So it's like, you have to believe in what you're doing. But also, if you've had an experience, allow that person to give you a new one.
Yeah, you have to do it because you want to do it. Like, a lot of people, I also feel like a lot of people get pressured because they don't want to tell that person no. And remember last week, we talked about that. We were like, hey, if you don't want the product, if this is something you don't want to do, just be honest.
Right.
And people that I feel like that maybe, I don't know if pressured is the word, but they decided to do it because, oh, the person was so nice and they were so into it. I didn't want to tell them no. But then it's something that you didn't really want to do. So therefore, you don't even have a why, because your why, oh, I did it because so-and-so asked me to, or, you know, they really seem like, it doesn't matter what they say. I can come in and talk to you about this all day long. But if you don't say, you know what, Nicole, say, LaShonda, you know what? I want to do this because I'm trying to get out of credit card debt. Or I want to be able to show my kids something else. You know what? I want to rock with this. I want to try this and see how it works. You know what I'm saying? That's having a why. Not just, oh, you know, I just did it just because to see if it's, you know, something I could. You got to really understand that why and have some passion behind it. Because we stated earlier, and Toya, if you're in it for the money, you're going to quit because the money is not going to always be there. It's not going to come fast as you think it's going to come. And it may not come every 2 weeks. Like when you go into that job and you sit at that desk and you're trading your time for money. It's not going to be like that. So keeping that why in the forefront and understanding that why and being connected to that why is going to keep you going. Also, like employees, so you got to reach up and talk to people who've been in whatever business you're in for a while. Get help from them. Ask them questions. Seek out advice. It's the same thing even at a regular job. If you're seeking for a leadership position or a manager position, you're going to want to talk to people who are in that role, who've been in that role for a certain amount of years, because they're going to be able to give you some advice. They're going to be able to tell you, oh, I did this, and you don't want to do this. Or they may be able to tell you, hey, do this instead. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. They're going to be able to encourage you and give you tips and help you reach to that next level. And it's the same thing in your multi-level marketing business. You reach up to talk to people who are more experienced and who've been in this thing a little bit longer so they can help guide you. It's like you said, it's not about, oh, this person being above me. That's not the deal. And I hate, you know what? I hate that when people say, oh, it's just multi-level marketing. Oh, you got people beneath you and you making money out the people beneath you. And I'm like, that's not the case. You don't even understand the business model. Because I know one thing in Amway, I can have 10 people under me, beneath me, as you say. And that's not what I'm getting paid off of. I'm getting paid. That's how I'm not getting paid. I'm getting paid off of when I sell my own product, when I teach and educate other people how to do it, and everyone's moving volume. You don't get paid off, oh, let me go, I'm going to go sign up 100 people and have 100 people beneath me and I'm going to get paid. That's not it. That's why
how it works.
They just need to put a pause on, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a scam. Stop saying that. Stop saying that until you had a chance to have a conversation with somebody to see how this thing works. Because you don't know how the business model is laid out. Every business model is different.
Yeah.
But because people automatically hear multi-level marketing, oh, it's a pyramid, it's a scheme, you just throw everything into that one bucket. And you dismiss it without giving people the opportunity to talk to you about it and see if this is something that you want to do. And if it's something that you don't want to do, you can simply say, no, I don't want to do this. This isn't the right vehicle for me to reach the goal that I'm trying to reach with having my own business. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Look, and you said something that made me remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, I had another why that I did not mention. In talking about, look, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all and tell y'all I don't want to build, and have other people there and building with me.
Right.
But I want to make sure that, like she said, I am educating them and empowering them to make different choices for themselves. That's what it's about for me. It's not about, oh, I'm gonna make money off of you. Like, that's not like she said, it's not the way it works. So I want to make sure that I'm empowering you to do what you want to do, to allow Mary Kay to be the vehicle for you to do whatever goal it is for life that you have. If it's saving money for your kids' college fund, like I said, if it's a vacation, because some people don't get to take those, whatever it may be, if it's paying off bills, if it's setting aside of money, as my parents are aging, I'm like, man, I want to be in a position where if my parents needed anything, that I would be in a position to be like, don't even worry about it. I got it. That's something that motivates me. That's something that keeps me going. And you have to figure out within yourself, whatever that may be, and it's going to be different for everybody. And for everybody else, it may not be family related. It may not. And I think a lot of people just, oh, well, I don't have kids. I don't have kids either. So I don't have no kid, so it doesn't always have to be that. I don't have no husband. So I can't say, oh, well, I want my husband to retire early, which that for some people, that's what it is. Everybody has something different and why they work this business, but just understand that it does work when you work. And I'm gonna keep saying that it will work when you work. Don't assume that, oh, you signed your agreement or signed your contract with the company, and now it's like, oh, I'm gonna make $100,000 this year, and it's like, well, if you don't work to make that happen, it's not gonna happen. That is very simple. Last week I talked about being on a diet. Like, I can say I want to lose 50 pounds, but if I'm eating fried chicken for every meal, I'm not going to lose 50 pounds.
That's right.
That's not going to work. It's the same concept, y'all. Like, I just love that it's become my mission to make sure people are educated about it, which is why again we had to come to this platform, because we were having closed door conversations that need to be up front and in front of other people, because we realized that we can't be the only two feeling like this. We can't be the only two that are like, well, this seems a little off to me. Like, why is it that in our community we are struggling with this? Because we see, like, let's be real, we see other ethnicities thriving in these businesses.
Exactly.
Why can't I see a face that looks like mine?
Exactly.
You know, and I'm not, hey, we, like I said last week, our number one is an African American female, and I absolutely love her. But she's number one, and then there's a Latina right behind her, and then there's a Caucasian lady. It's like, okay, then kind of, I'm being honest, y'all, it just kind of gets lighter as it goes. Why is that the case? What are we doing differently? Is it because we're not having the conversation? We're not properly educated? Is it because we just, like I said, we had that one bad experience and we've just shunned off every multi-level business ever? Like, what is that about? That's why we are having the conversation, so y'all can know we're just two regular women that are wanting to have and will have success in our multi-level business.
Right.
But y'all got to be open in having the conversation with us. And I'm not, by no means am I finna message everybody, because I don't want no mess. I am not finna message everybody that comment and say, don't you want a Mary Kay business? Like, that's not how your girl operates.
Right.
Because let's be real, I know that some people have said, well, every time I come across a such and such consultant, then, you know, they always in my inbox. I'm like, I'm not that girl. And I think, honestly, unfortunately, we've had some people that are bad representation of the business. And then you have folks like us who are genuine and really care about the product and really care about the business model, really care about having success.
Right.
That we hit a brick wall, because it's like, nope, last time I opened up to such, you know, to whoever, this happened. And that's just something it's a hard battle to fight, but I'm willing to do it.
Yes.
I'm willing to be the one to be like, let me educate you. Let me allow me to have a conversation.
You're absolutely right, and Toya, and I'm glad you brought that up again. Like, it's every time I go to a conference, I look around and I'm like, why? I'm like, what you just said, why can't faces like me win at this? It's always just a few. And everybody else is other races. And I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, and Toya, that's why I want to bring the conversation forward. I want it to be bringing the conversation forward so we can find out what the issue is. Why do people snarl? Why do people frown? Why do people just outright, oh, I'm not going to support you because I don't like that type of business? Like, why? What was your experience like? Who put a bad taste in your mouth? Because it is people succeeding. And why can't we succeed? We always saying how we need to, you know, make sure we doing what we need to do so we can support each other and pull everybody up so we can do this and do that. But it's a lot of talk. But when it comes to it, then nobody wants to do it. And I'm not saying you got to be in a multi-level marketing business. I'm not saying that. You do what you feel is best for you to reach your goal. But what we're saying is, and why we're having this conversation is that we're just trying to figure out where's the problem, because there is a problem. I don't care if anybody wants to admit it or not. There is a problem, but I don't know where the problem is, and I feel like we're not going to know where that problem is until we keep having this conversation. You know what? Sometimes I feel like the word conversations gets so overused, because you hear that word a lot on a lot of different platforms. Like, the conversation needs to be had, but it's the truth. The conversation needs to be had, because that's the only way we're gonna figure it out. Because you can't sit up here and tell me we don't have the capability, we don't have the smarts to win. You can't tell me we don't. If other people are winning, why can't we win in this? I know a lot of people who do that have had or do have a multi-level marketing business, and they feel defeated.
Yeah.
Because they just feel like, and sometimes that person may have not put in enough work. You know what I'm saying? There are different ways you have to do it. But I just hate to see so many people defeated and just give up so easy. People that look like me, because like I say, if these other people can do it, they selling the same product I'm selling. They ain't selling nothing that's magical. It's gonna do anything. They selling the same products that I'm selling. If they can sell those products and be successful and help other people in their community and educate and teach them, build them up, show them a different way of life, and that they have, they can create additional amount of income or reach whatever goal they're trying to reach. Why can't we do it too? Why is it so difficult for us? Yeah. That's my main reason of wanting to. I feel like in toy, you know, we have a lot of conversation on Instagram, and I'm like, it's just time to be bold and be brave and just bring the conversation to the forefront.
Yeah, I agree. And I wish I had an answer about when it happened that we stopped being able to represent. And it's amazing, like you say, it's amazing how we're wanting to represent everywhere else, but for some reason there's a block for this sector of business. Because I want to be clear that we are running a business. It happens to be a multi-level business, but it's still a business. I still receive the tax form at the end of the year. I am still expected to report all earnings from this business to the IRS. Like, I want you to be very clear. Like, there's some obligations I have because I am a business owner.
Exactly.
So I think it's some things that we need to kind of like break the cycle of people and their negativity about it. And people gonna feel how they want to feel. I'm not here to change everybody's mind, but I feel like you said, we had all these conversations privately, that it was necessary to be like, you know what, I'm willing to have the conversation openly and allow other people to to tap in and let me know like what's really happening. What experience have you had, positive or negative, that either will have you say yay or nay to a multi-level business? And if it's negative, then let's talk about it. Like, was that a one-time instance with that individual? Because let's be honest, it probably was not the company as a whole. It was probably something individual.
Right.
So that's something else that we have to think about, which we talked about a little bit that last week. Like, we may not go to that certain Walmart because we may not like that Walmart, but we don't stop going to Walmart as a whole. Most of the time, that's not the case, so we have to be conscious of doing the same thing for these smaller multi-level businesses that we're all trying to build, so it's something, it's so it's necessary, y'all. It's so necessary.
It is. We got Valencia. She says, I'm ever so grateful to be in a Black-owned CEO and founder of an MLM company that has created a safe haven to grow. That is amazing, Valencia. She also says, I approach the elephant in the room. We as Black people do not support as much as other cultures. And she said that she was in another MLM company, and sad to say that 93% of her customer base was not from the Black community. And you're right. And that's what we're trying to figure out. Why do we not support now? But wait, let me say that. Let's keep it real. Because it ain't even about them not just supporting a multi-level marketing business. It's about Black people not supporting as a whole sometimes, period, when it comes to business. And I'm not going to say, let me say that very lightly, that Black people don't support. Let me say that very lightly, because I know some businesses out there who are thriving with probably 100% of their customer base being Black people. The deal is, what we're talking about is in a multi-level marketing in the Black community. That's support within the Black community. I'm gonna retract my words, because I don't want to say people don't support, because they do.
Be in your comments.
Right. Only people not coming for me. People buy what they want to buy with their own money. Let's just keep it real.
Absolutely.
They had a choice to buy this or that. But the deal is, why is it that people just automatically dismiss a multi-level marketing business? You know what? I was searching YouTube one night, and there are some females who have never, ever been in a multi-level marketing business. But for some reason, they got time to sit on YouTube and make videos about multi-level marketing businesses and how their schemes and how their scams. They're like, these people got over 100,000 views.
Wow.
And I sat there and looked at some of those videos, and I'm like, see, this is why it makes it hard for me, because y'all out here bashing. Why are you bashing when you don't even have all the details?
Yeah.
You don't even have all the details, and you're out here giving it a bad name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we have whole websites dedicated to our company specifically. And it's comical to me because I'm like, that takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. I have not come across their YouTube. Thank God that they're just out here bashing. And it's funny because, of course, it's a lot of people, and you are entitled to your opinion. By no means am I saying how bite your tongue about how you feel about something. But in the same token, like, how is that serving you? What purpose is that offering? Like, by you saying I'm just gonna bash these multiple millions of companies, like what is that doing for you? You know, besides just spewing negativity, you know, if it's not for you, because by no means, I want to be very clear. Do I love Mary Kay? Absolutely. Do I ever see myself not being a Mary Kay consultant? No. However, I am very real and honest with myself that knowing that Mary Kay is not for everybody. I am okay with that. I am completely okay with that. Right. So by no means am I going to try to convince you that this needs to be the opportunity that you take. That's not, because it may not be for you. If you're like Valencia said earlier, if you're not in love with the product, or you don't see yourself falling in love with the product, that's going to be major right there. I can't sell you nothing, because at the end of the day, we try to say we don't do sales, but we do sales every day, all day of our life. It just sometimes I'm very specific in doing Mary Kay. If I can't sell you on something that I don't love, I'm not going to be able to sell it to you. Mm-hmm. I'm able to talk to you about these products because I use them on a daily basis. Right. And I love the products that I use. That's why I'm able to have a conversation with you. I am by no means I'm trying to convince you it's the best product in the world and we got global standards, which we do. But most time you ain't trying to really hear that. But it's very funny to me in the Black community, particularly, which I think we talked about this a little bit last week. I get a lot of people that ask me, well, is it really for Black people? Do Black people really use it? As if I'm not walking around as a whole Black person. Right? I'm like, I've pretty much been Black my whole life. That's kind of what I know. But it's comical to me because I'm like, what do you think I'm talking about? Like, right. And I get that historically, like if I pull up a picture right now, Mary Kay Ash, you'll be like, okay, I can see. We've been in this game 57 years. By now, I would hope that something would have changed. Right. In the way that you view this company. And if it hasn't, I want to be the representation to say we have. Yes. But allow me that opportunity. I think that's something else that kind of pulls into that legacy for me. It's like, no, you're going to see that what I'm doing is reputable. What I'm doing is going to be successful. And what I'm doing is worth it. Mm-hmm. And if you choose not to fall in love with me or the product, because I tell people, when you in this game, you in it with me, you fall in love with Antoya Chanel. That's who you're gonna get. That's why I'm your neighborhood beauty boss. That's what I do. You're not everybody else. We ain't worried about them. We talking about me and you right now. So if you're not in love with me, it's not gonna work. But that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm your consultant. I consult you and let you know what you need and how often you need it, when you need to reorder it. That's what sets us apart. And I think that's something else that people kind of misconstrue is I'm a consultant because you should be able to consult me on what your needs are. I provide a service based on what your needs are. Because people all the time are like, well, how do you meet the need? And now, people, your customers want to know, how do you meet the need? And that's where it comes from. Mm-hmm. You can walk into any glamour, any skincare store, you absolutely can, and buy whatever skincare and whatever glamour you want. You're right. In 3 months, when that skincare runs out, let's say you threw away the bottle, let's say you threw away the box. Nobody's going to be there to tell you, hey, this is exactly what you ordered. This is how much of it you ordered. And if you want to reorder that, this is your total. That's what sets us apart. Like, that's something that people are forgetting. It's that personal touch. That's something that Mary Kay Ash, she was very adamant that, no, we need that personal touch. And I wish I could find that video.
I'm glad you said that, Antoya.
Yeah.
Personal touch.
We're in a relationship business. that's what we do.
That's what it is. It's a relationship. Like I had a customer last week. She saw me on Instagram talking about some of the products, my face products.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, LaShonda, I want to order everything that you use. And I told her, I said, no, we're not going to do it that way. I said, let's do a skincare analysis. Talk to me about your skin, because we have a tool that you can use to go and analyze your skin. And I said, matter of fact, I have samples that you can try these samples and see what works for your skin and what's best. And then what works for your skin, what doesn't work for your skin, and what works best for your skin. And then I'll follow back up with you and we'll take the conversation there. Now, if I had been someone who was just all about the money, then that would have been at least a $250 sale right there. Right. But that's not what I wanted to do. You know why? I need to make sure, because I want the customer to fall in love with the product as much as I love the product. And when they run out of product, I want them to be a repeat buyer to buy more product. I want them to fall in love with it, use the product, and then when somebody asks them about their skin, they can be like, hey, I use this. You should check this out. You know, that's how we do. People in every business, we're always referring to business, whether we know it or not, whether it's from the chicken sandwich or you went to
we in sales all day, every day.
Whether you're making money or not. But I said, I'm not going to take this sale like this because I want to make sure you're getting the right products for your skin type. You know, and she was like, you know what? I really appreciate that. Let me try some samples. And so we talked a few days ago. She said, Cole, you know what? I tried some of these samples. This one kind of made my skin itchy, but this one, you know, it did what it needed to do. And I'm like, see, that's why I wanted you to try and not just go buy everything that you see me using, because that may not work for your skin. And that's not how I want to make my money and just get the sale, because I want to build a relationship with that customer. And also I need that customer to be a repeat customer.
Right. And like you said, that it's about building a relationship. My customers know they trust that what I'm going to offer them is what they need. And that's building trust. That's building a relationship. You know, it's some that just literally text me, say, reorder what I need. And sometimes I'm looking at the phone like, okay. Like I'll go look at your customer profile and see what those items are, and I'll reorder what you need. And it's some that, like you said, will need something specific. Like we both have a skincare line. So let's just be real. We're gonna go back to this. It's not a competition. If you like Amway skincare, congratulations. If you love Mary Kay skincare, congratulations. Like, by no means, like, trust me, Amway is offering something that Mary Kay is not, and vice versa. So in that same, if it's something that I'm offering that I feel is a worthy product, I'm going to offer that to you. However, I'm going to be very honest and say, if it's something that I feel like Mary Kay can't offer you, I'm going to be honest in that as well.
Right.
I'm not, even though, yes, I'm here to make money because I have a business, I'm not here to make no quick money just so I can say I made some quick money. Because guess what that's going to do? That's going to put a bad taste in your mouth about Mary Kay.
Exactly.
Which is what I'm already trying to combat. And guess what you probably going to do? Well, you know, Antoya just sold me XYZ and she just took my money. This stuff don't even work.
And then they gonna be that's bad publicity for you.
No, I need you to be like, you know what? Antoya sold me this set. It was a little pricey for me at first, but this stuff is really working. That's what I need you to be saying. Having conversation with your friends when they see your skin. You're like, oh, girl, what you doing differently? Oh, I got this from Antoya. That's what people need to understand. That's the way I operate my business. I'm not doing it just to say I made a quick dollar. I'm in this to build a relationship with you. If you're having a change in your skin, or if you want a new makeup look, you're like, oh, I know exactly who to call. I'm gonna call your neighborhood beauty boss. And you're gonna say, well, that's who I need to call. She's gonna know exactly what I need. You know, the holidays are coming up, or we have pictures or graduation, whatever the case. That's what we're here for. And that is something that drives me, because it's like I'm building those relationships for people to know that I'm a resource to them.
Right.
And that's what it's about.
Right. We're a resource to the people. And once again, that's why it goes back to everybody knowing all the pieces that it takes to build a multi-level marketing business. Because like any business, whether it's a product being sold in Target or Kroger or whatever the case may be, those people want you to be a repeat customer. They want you to keep coming back to the store when you run out of whatever product you're using. They want you to come back and buy it. And that's the same thing we want too. We want people to come back and buy it. And you know what? I just was seeing the Target. Oh, Valencia, you know what? Where Valencia is in here with the comments, he says, people buy people, and it's all about having integrity. You are absolutely correct.
That is true.
People buy people. They fall in love with the story and the person, and they buy the product. And it is about having integrity. Another thing, I tell people all the time, don't have a problem buying from me because I don't make the product. When you go to Kroger, Target, Kroger, Target, Walmart, I'm going to say those three. Those are basically big warehouses that look really pretty, selling multiple brands under one building.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do have Kroger have their exclusive brand. What is it called? Simple Truth. You have Target that has their exclusive brand. I think it's called Archer Farms, and then you have Walmart, who has their exclusive brands, which is the Equate brand. But when you look at it, it's just a building with a lot of different products made by different brands. That's the same thing it is.
Yeah.
It's just like with me, Amway, they make a lot of their products, but a lot of products they have exclusive rights to sell under the Amway brand, just like Target has exclusive rights to sell Archer Farms in Target. You're not going to go to Kroger or Walmart and pick up Archer Farms. It's not. You're not going to go to Walmart or Target and pick up Simple Truth because that's only sold at Kroger. Like, I just want people to stop, just take a moment and not stop at, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Like, really look at the business model as a whole, and it's nothing different than what's out here. It's nothing different with that, because Target and Walmart and all them, they still got to advertise. They got to advertise to make sure people buy from them. Amazon always advertising. It's always a pop-up coming up. Amazon is a big distribution hub. They don't make their products. It's the same thing with me. I don't make my products, and Toya doesn't make her products. So we have access to retail these products to consumers who need them. So I just want people within our community, just look at it as a whole. Take the moment before you dismiss it or frown your nose up at me or Toya, or just like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's a pyramid scheme. Like, just don't do that. But at the same token, like when we start this conversation, that's why your why gotta be strong enough. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't matter what anybody tell you, or how much somebody snurl their nose up at you, or how somebody debate you on, oh, it is a pyramid scheme, it's a scam. If your why is strong enough, that's not gonna break you. It may hurt your feelings, but it's not gonna break you to stop. It's not gonna break you where you stop doing it and you don't keep pushing.
Right. That's 100 right there. No still hurt. And I've been in this business 8 years. I'm not every no, but some no's you like, man, I really thought they was gonna say yeah. They still hurt, but it doesn't stop me. I can't allow it to stop me. There's so much more, because I know that the moment when I stop, I'm defeating my next yes already. I made the decision that my yes is coming. I chose to stop. So that is very real. Yeah, they still hurt. And I still, every once in a while, I do kind of get my feelings like, how dare you? Because it used to be sometimes I'll be like, how you gonna say no to me? Like, me? Like, you don't know what you're missing out on. But at the end of the day, that's their choice. People have, you make choice every day.
No to you. They're just saying no to they don't want their product.
Whatever I'm offering. And that's key. That I used to say, well, you gonna say no to me? And it's not, you're not saying no to me. You're saying no to whatever I'm offering. If it's the business, if it's a product. And guess what? Just like the people at Walmart, they offering, the people, they have the credit union at the front to ask you who you banking with. When AT&T and Spectrum being there and they be going back and forth, I say no to them. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. If I choose to go Walmart versus Target, it's the same thing. And you just got to figure that out. But like, I mean, and back to that, we always advertising for somebody else. I think that's something I tell people all the time. I'm like, Popeye's chicken sandwich, I think they probably did a run for maybe like a week before it went crazy, and they didn't have to say nothing else because the people was making enough noise about it and standing in line and doing all these talks and fighting and all over a chicken sandwich that I'm be honest, as of what's today, December 13th of 2020, have yet to take a bite of one. Because I just didn't think it was that serious. But for some people it was. Guess what that was, y'all? Advertisement. Y'all were selling what they were giving. And we try to make it bigger than what it is. That's all I'm doing. I put on my lip gloss. Y'all like, oh, that's cute. I'll make a video. I'll tell you what lip gloss it is. It's very simple. That's what I do. And yeah.
Girl, you got me cracking up because I remember the videos that was floating around.
I'm telling you.
Fighting. And it's like
over a chicken sandwich, y'all. It was a chicken sandwich. It had no lettuce, no pickles, no nothing. Like once I realized it didn't have, I was like,
it didn't have pickles.
Oh, it had pickles.
Yeah, pickles and bread with lettuce and tomato.
No, that's not a real sandwich. I want the works on my sandwich, especially if I'm be fighting over it. I want everything on it. Right. But I mean, we do it all the time. When our favorite, when Netflix come out with something, particularly in our community, there is an entire Instagram dedicated to the Black films and TV shows that come out on Netflix to make sure the Black community knows. It's the same thing, y'all. It's the same thing.
It is.
When your cousin asks you, when you get your hair done, who did your hair? Same thing.
Same thing. You're absolutely right. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But that's why once again I go back just understand it. Oh my goodness, my camera just went out. Understand it before you just completely dismiss it. Am I still moving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we still see you.
Okay, good deal. I think I just figured out a problem then.
Baby, technology. That's what happened.
I figured out something that I thought was happening, but it was not happening, and that's okay. Okay, but anyway, you know what? This live has been an hour. It's been a good hour. We started late. I just feel like the time goes by so quick. We get on here talking, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Absolutely. And watching. Before we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it up because we don't want to keep you guys a long time. But if you have comments or questions, go ahead and drop your comments and questions in the chat. Let us know. We'll answer those. But also, we want to leave you guys with some positivity. And Toya, I got your two of your favorite quotes that you say you read. I'm gonna pop them up on the screen. I'll tell you which one it is, and you can read it. And I got two of them, and we'll just take turns and reading our favorite quotes.
Okay.
The first one that I'm going to put up here is the one about why. So let me put it up here on the screen here so people can see it. And a second here.
Mm-hmm. Look, I mean, y'all can read, but I will read it to you.
Yeah.
When you find your reason to do it, you will feel that fire within you, that kind of motivation that makes you keep going while others give up. Let me tell you something about this particular quote. So, that comes from that emotional tie, almost that, and y'all can't see me, but I'm pointing to my stomach. It's like that gut feeling that you need to be doing something. That's that passion that burns within you. That's what it's talking about. Like it knows that it's something there. It's something more than this. That's why I say all the time, okay, yeah, Mary Kay is skincare makeup. I look pretty. That's all well and great. My skin looks awesome. Okay. But it's something else that Mary Kay just happens to be the vehicle for me to do what I need to do. Mm-hmm. And that's where it comes from, me being empowering and me being empowerment. I talk about being a light all the time. That's what it's about for me.
You do.
That's it. Like that's what burns within me, is being that light, that empowerment, that person to be like, you know what, you can do it. Even when I'm not feeling at 100, I could be your biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that's like, come on, let's go. Like, we can
Mm-hmm.
go. I may
Yeah.
not feel great, but I'm gonna make sure you're gonna do it. So that's that fire. I love that quote.
One of my quotes are, let's see, where is it? This is one of my favorite quotes right here. I put it up on the screen. I have a little book that I keep beside me. It's called I Want to Be Confident by Harriet Griffey. And one of my favorite quotes about confidence, it says, negative thoughts, do not allow negative thoughts to enter your mind, for they are the weeds that strangle confidence.
That's
And
good.
that is so true, because negative thoughts will strangle that confidence that you have. Even if you only have a little bit of confidence, if you get to thinking negatively, if you start having negative thoughts, then you will talk yourself out of something. And that's why, to have a multi-level marketing business, knowing your why, and you got to have confidence. You got to be confident in your why. Like we say, we run into trials and tribulations all the time, and people will say things to make you second guess yourself. But you got to be able to be confident, and your confidence has to be so strong that it'll block out the negativity. And I'm gonna just be honest, that's not always easy. It's a daily job. That's why you always have to read. I feel like there's an echo. That's why you always have to read, and you always have to be making daily deposits into your belief system. It don't matter what it is, because it's going to be some days that you're not going to wake up confident, but you have to it's a daily work, and it's not. And I think that's what people get it. They don't think about that, because I used to didn't think about that. People like, oh, you just need to be confident. You got it. You think, okay, well, I'm confident today, and this confidence is gonna last me every day to the rest of your life, and this is not the case. It doesn't work like that, and you have to work on building that confidence every day. That's why you have to keep that why in front of you every day. Why are you doing this? What is this going to help you reach? Whether it's family, whether it's financial, what is it going to help you reach? You got to have that confidence at the same time. It goes hand in hand. So that's one of my favorite quotes, is about confidence. Another one, Antoya, that you shared. Let's see. Is this it? Let me see here. The other one that you shared by Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yep. So if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. For your passion will lead you into your purpose. That's major for me, because like I said, I told y'all my story. Starting off, going to school, getting a job. And I kept a pattern, y'all. Like, it was a pattern of go to school, get a job. Okay, I don't like that job. Go get a certificate, go get another job. Okay, go back to school, get another job. It was like a pattern of me trying to figure it out. And once I realized my true passion, like I said, is to empower people and to be an advocate for people, I was able to use those skills I use in my job, which are very transferable skills, very necessary skills, to do what I needed to do. So that's something that fuels me, because I felt like a failure, quite honestly, y'all. I went to school for all this time, and I got these student loans to prove it, and I'm sitting here not doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing, not knowing that God was like, listen, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Allow me to write this story, because I'm the narrator. I don't need your help. So it's something that I really had to lean into. Okay, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. How can I make this work in this season? And that's what that quote is about. Just figuring it out. Whatever that may be for you, just figure it out.
You know what, Antoy? That's a whole nother topic that you just said. You felt like a failure.
Mm-hmm.
I done been there. Been there, because you go to school and you think you're going to be doing A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And when you don't do it, when you don't get that type of job that's related to what you went to school with, you feel like a failure. I've been there. And there have been times, especially when I was young, especially when you graduate, you fresh from college, you think that you're going to be balling and you're going to be doing this and that. And it just don't work like that. And then when I used to, you know what, sometimes I wouldn't want to tell people that I had a undergraduate or a master's degree, because the first thing they would be like, what you doing here? You can't get no better job.
Mm-hmm.
You got all that education.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me feel like crap.
Yeah.
And for a while, I stopped telling people that. But you know what? Now I'm glad. What I'm glad about in this time, this day and age that we're living in, like, that doesn't define you. That's
Right.
not. That degree and that piece of paper does not define who you are. You know, but my why for going to college was this what people told me to need to do and this to make the money. I never really said, why do I want to go to school? We
Mm-hmm.
weren't picking my degree. I selected my degree based off someone saying, girl, you should do this because this is what's going to be hot in the next few years. You can make a lot of money. But that really wasn't what I wanted to do. And then that goes because I didn't know my why. I didn't understand why I was in college besides this is what I was supposed to do.
Right.
So not knowing your why can come up. It can come up in your life as, you know, like, man, if it, you know, that's why, man, you just, when you said that, you just made me go to a place with that, because I done been there. I have been there feeling like a failure. I went to school and got all this education and I'm not succeeding the way that I'm supposed to be succeeding. But once again, I never understood my why. And then I didn't have a why of what I was going to do once I graduated, besides, oh, I need to be doing this because this is what everybody else doing. And I'm just glad we're living in a time where people, but that's no longer to be true. That's not, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with education. I'm not saying that by far, but that does not define you. You have to understand why you're going to school. If you're going to school to get this degree so you can create a plan to make this amount of money, like, that's knowing your why.
Right.
If you don't know your why, you just be floating. You just be floating along. And you know what? But I've overcame that, and you overcame that too. That's just something that we had to go through. And
Right.
you know, it is what
it is. Story. It is a part of the story.
Part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Another quote of mine, I have this little book that I read, and it says, it just has a lot of quotes in there from different people. And this one says, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it.
I'm by no means laughing at your quote. I'm laughing because I have that quote on my wall right here. So that's why I'm laughing, because that's what made me look. And I'm like, it's literally on my wall. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, once again, obstacles are going to come. I don't care what business it is. It does not have to be a multi-level marketing business. You can go listen to podcasts, different interviews of people who started a business, and they will tell you the obstacles that they face. But the one thing is they did not give up. And just because, and let's just keep it real, just because you may have a regular traditional business doesn't mean and that makes that business any more of a business, or that business is going to be easier than you having a multi-level marketing business. Because at the end of the day, you still got to let people know you out here and that you have a product, and how those products going to provide a solution to a need. How's that problem going to help that consumer? How's your product going to be a problem solver for the consumer? You know, the product still has to be marketed, because if you get out here and make a body care line and you're not telling people about it, nobody's going to know that you have it. Right. And with the internet being so crowded and the e-commerce world being so crowded, you're not just going to put up a website and think people are going to magically find your website, because it doesn't work like that either. It's a lot of things that go on the back end for people to be able to find your website. So you still have to work at it. It's the same thing if you go to a job and you don't perform, you ain't going to have a job and they ain't going to give you no paycheck. So if you don't perform and work your multi-level marketing business and let people know that you got products out here, you're not going to sell any products. If you have a brick and mortar store, you don't let people know what's going on at your store and come in your store, you're not going to make any money. All of it is the same. They're just different business models, but all of the business models can help you reach that goal and can be the vehicle to where you're trying to get. And once again, that's why I want to go back to us having this conversation. It's just people to be open-minded. without quickly dismissing that it's a pyramid scheme or a scam.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nothing else really we could say after that. That's it. Yeah. Look, I thank you for welcoming me in. Look, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Let me check Facebook. Does any look like we can have a few people that's still hanging on with us? Let me see if we got any questions or comments. Valencia said, "It's the why that makes you cry." Yep. Thank you for the love, Valencia. Um, does anyone have any other questions or comments? Let me check over here on this side of the screen. I guess not. So, once again, we want to thank you for joining us today. And let me put up where you can find us. If you want to know what Antoya has going on in her world, you can follow her at Royal MK Glam. That's her handle on Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what's going on in my world, you can follow me at The Natural Cole. I'm at The Natural Cole all over the internet. And once again, we appreciate everyone for tuning in. And we hope everyone have a enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening and just do your best to start your week off on a positive note. And Toya, do you have any last words here?
I don't. Look, thank y'all for joining us. Seriously, I'm happy to know that as we thought that this conversation was necessary, that people are tapping in and really letting us know that they feel the same way or they've experienced some of the same things. So I'm a resource. Anybody who wants to, she gave you my way to contact me, reach out. Even outside of my my sphere. I really am about helping other business women figure it out. So I'm happy that we've established this network of community. So I'm
Yes.
excited about it.
Yes, and we will be back with more conversations. We'll figure out what the next conversation is going to be and let you guys know when we're going to come back. So once again, everyone have a good evening, and we will see you next time. And this segment, what this segment is going to be called, it's going to be called "Being a Black Woman in a Multi-Level Marketing Business." And then each time we come on, there'll be a different main topic that we're going to talk about. Thank you, Valencia. She said she loved the content. We appreciate it. Thank you, Millicent. Thank you for joining in. Be sure to, if you feel like this conversation would be beneficial to someone else, just be sure to share it. Let them know that we are here. Thank you, Nakia. She said, job well done. Thank you. And we will see you guys next time. Once again, thanks for joining in.